Jack, did you watch a lot of football games over the weekend, and even before the weekend?
Yeah, I did. There are a lot of good ones, a lot of games that had a big impact on our future. So, of course, I tried to watch as much as possible. A lot of good teams playing, so it was a big weekend for us.
Do you look at games like that and you think, well, they wouldn't get away with that against us, or we would do this? Here's how we would battle what they're doing, or?
I don't look, when I'm watching other teams, I really don't look at concepts as much as I, just watch certain players. Like, I like watching offensive line play and, watching good defensive ends play and D tackles. So I'm not as much of a big picture guy when I'm watching other teams. I just like to watch players play. And, if I know a guy on another team, I watch him play. So it's just fun to see what's going on at other schools.
And after seeing Alabama play, do you think that you could compete with them on an equal basis?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Right now we're just focused on beating Illinois, and if we ever come to that hurdle, we'll think about that then. But they're a great football team. Obviously, the number one in the nation, so they're doing something right. And if we ever get that shot, I think we'll be ready for it.
Jack, in the week leading up to Purdue, Coach Meyer talked about conversations that you two had. You seemed concerned about the focus, I guess. Is there anything similar in your mind as you get ready for a team that hasn't won in the Big Ten, going on the road again? Do you have that same concern?
I think we proved going to Purdue that this is a mature football team and there's good leadership here. And obviously it's another noon game, and it's an away game. And, we're not ignorant. We know, about the different facts about Illinois, but they're still a Big Ten football team. It's a road game for us. So that's always going to be a challenge, and we can't prepare for it any differently than we would any other game. So we had this bye week to get rested. We had a good practice today, and we're going to go into it full bore and come out swinging.
Was there something in particular about that week practice or in the locker room or something that had your attention getting ready for Purdue that you thought it could be a concern? What prompted that conversation?
I think historically, the last 5 years, just Ohio State struggled at Purdue, so we were aware of that, and we addressed that earlier in the week, and we knew the environment. It's easy to get up to play Penn State prime time at night, in front of 108,000 people in the Horseshoe. But, going to Purdue and getting up at 7 a.m. to play a noon game, and, the environment's a little bit different. So we just wanted to make sure we didn't let the little things affect us. And because when you start letting small things affect you, that's when, you kind of realize that you're not as good as you thought you were. But, we did a great job of rising to the challenge and not letting, different factors affect us and playing our game.
Coach Meyer has kept it a secret that you guys had a long way to go last year with the passing game, and you guys relied on the run a lot last year on the way to an undefeated season.
That was a secret?
That's what I said. What is it now that you guys have done to kind of take that to the next level from a rushing standpoint? Because you leaned on it last year and you were successful enough to go undefeated doing that. Why are you guys better at it this year?
Yeah, I think last year there were some games that, teams played us real heavy in the box because we couldn't do as much with our passing game. But this year it's a lot different. There's not 8 or 9 guys in the box because this offseason Braxton, the receivers and the running backs and all the skill guys got together and decided that they were going to, be really good this year. And I think they've done that so far. They've gotten better every game, and that makes it easier on the O-line and the running game, knowing that there are other threats. And, we still pride ourselves on having a great, powerful running game, and I think that's something that we need to continue doing. But it's just nice knowing that there are different ways to score touchdowns other than running inside the tackles.
The offensive line specifically has taken it to a new level, it seems. Coach Meyer said it's one of the best he's been around. What have you guys done? What's been the catalyst to your guys' collective improvement in the way that you guys have approached it?
I think we knew coming into the season that we had expectations of ourselves, and we were building on something good from last year. And we have 4 senior leaders, so if we didn't play the way we're playing, then I think that would be a disgrace for us. And I think we knew going into it that we had to play up to a certain level that we established for ourselves last year. And we're working to do that every week, and we can still get better. There's still things every week that we can improve on, but we have a great chemistry, and Taylor's doing a great job for us, and we play hard, and that's something we pride ourselves on.
2 years ago, you were down there that you didn't. Is it like unfathomable that you only completed 1 pass? You won the game, but compared to where you are now,
a touchdown to Jake or something.
Yeah.
Looking back, that's crazy to me, just because our passing game has evolved so much now, and so many different guys score touchdowns for us now that 1 pass, that's kind of unreal to think about. And like I said, Braxton and the skill guys have come so far. I don't think it's going to be like that this year, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have to run the ball that much, but I know as an O-line we'd like that, but I think it's going to be spread around a little bit more.
Jack, could you sense how much talk about you guys when you hear people talk about the national landscape and with the national title picture? Do you guys almost feel like you're on the outside looking in?
As in the locker room, I think there's some discussion, but as far as the team goes, we try not to get ahead of ourselves. We know we have to win every game in front of us. So I mentioned it earlier. When the time comes, I think we'll talk about that. But right now, we're just focused on winning our division, then winning the Big Ten, and I think if we handle our business, we'll be all right. So. It's one day at a time, and you can't get ahead of yourselves, because when you start letting things slip and start letting the details slip, that's when you lose a game. So that's something we don't want to do. And if obviously we need to handle our business to get where we want to go.
When I asked you about the offensive line a minute ago, you brought up Taylor specifically. What is it? He's younger. He's not one of the seniors. Is he kind of reaching the expectation to kind of be your equal as the other four? I mean, does he kind of rose his game up to a level that you guys expected?
Yeah, absolutely. He came in, he had a tough first draw against Buffalo and Khalil Mack, and he got his feet wet, and I think he realized how hard he had to work to get where he wanted to be, and he's improved every day since then, and he's getting tougher, stronger, his technique's getting better, and we're really proud of him. He's definitely, people bring up a weak link, and right now we don't have a weak link the way Taylor's playing, so I'm just really proud of him and the way he's worked and approached his work on a daily basis. So he's doing a great job, and we just got to get him ready for Illinois.
And I asked you about that a minute ago about the last year that you said that a lot of it, the running game was based on people stacking the box. So do you take a lot of credit as an offensive line, though, this year with the improvement that you've made? I mean, as a group, you got to feel good about the way you guys are running the ball regardless of the circumstances, I would assume.
Yeah, like I said, it's loosened up a lot in the box for us just because of different threats. But I mentioned earlier, we still pride ourselves on running the ball. We have Carlos, who does a great job for us, and a bunch of other big, powerful backs that come in. And then, you got Dontre on the edge and Braxton doing his thing also. So our running game is pretty dynamic at this point, and we just got to keep going forward with it.
Jack, talk about the difference, though, from a mindset that y'all probably knew you weren't going to throw the ball much at Illinois 2 years ago, didn't you? I mean, just how much does it change just from the offensive lines knowing you're going to be more balanced going into a game than the last time y'all were over there, where it was almost like you were afraid to throw it?
Yeah, I think it's a good feeling knowing that you just have a bunch of different weapons and guys that can do different things. And if you handle your job and do your job, and good things are going to happen for the team. And that's always a good feeling as an offensive lineman. Just if you take care of your business, anything can break out of there. So, it's awesome for us.
And then one other thing, these guys are in the 100s and stopping the run. You guys are 6th or 7th or 8th in the country and running. Why wouldn't you go over there and run every day? I mean, every play. I mean, do you look at those kind of stats before you go into a game? Do you look at what they're doing? Obviously, you do.
Talk to Coach Herman and Coach Meyer about that one. That's a little higher up than my knowledge. But it's a Big Ten road game, which is always tough. They're going to be a physical team, and it's going to be a challenge for us. So we just got to be ready to go.
Kind of jumping off Tim's question, they've allowed 4 different running backs this year to go for 200 yards. Does that not increase what your internal expectation is for what you need to get Carlos?
I think if we're not concerned as much with outside factors. If we do our job and make holes, Carlos is going to run for a lot of yards, and I think that'll take care of itself. And then we'll look at the stat sheet at the end of the game. So we're not as concerned with stuff like that as we are with handling our jobs.
But does a lot change? Your definition of a lot change from game to game?
I don't know.
You said that if you open up holes, you'll get Carlos a lot of yards.
Yeah.
But does your expectation for what a lot means to you change from game to game to game? I mean,
no, I think we have. In our room, in our offensive line room, we know what a lot of yards is, and I'm not going to give you guys a number. But
I didn't ask for a number.
We have our goals set, and we'll know at the end of the game if we did our job the right way. So that's kind of an internal thing for us.
But the goal though stays the same every week, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a benchmark that we want to hit, and Coach Warner makes that clear to us.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.